and placed it on the grave. Bram had lost his father, and he was determined not to lose his best friend as well. With the help of a sailor friend, he hatched a daring plan. He would stow away on the boat that was taking Modoc to New York. Once they were in America, perhaps he could get a job as a roustabout. Anything to be near Mosey. So Bram hid, first in a truck, then in a packing crate full of circus equipment that was loaded onto the ship to New York. It was pitch dark in the crate and hard to breathe, but all Bram could think about was Mosey. Where was she? Was she afraid? The two of them had never been apart for this long in their lives. At last, Bram's sailor friend Jimmy appeared. Jimmy helped Bram out of the crate, brought him some food, and guided him through the dark ship to the hold where the elephants were being kept. When Modoc spotted her friend, she gave a deafening trumpet. Bram stayed in the hold with the elephants for the next few weeks, sharing the fruits and vegetables brought to them and hiding in the hay whenever the keepers came by. Then, one day, Bram noticed that it was difficult to stand up without holding on to something. Even the elephants were having a hard time keeping their feet. Then a message came over the ship's loudspeaker. "Attention! We are encountering high seas. No one is allowed on deck unless ordered." At first, Bram wasn't worried. How could a ship as big as this one sink? But as hours passed, the ship began to roll more and more violently. A trickle of water made its way down to the hold. Soon, the trickle became a small river. The elephants were growing nervous. Bram went to Mosey. "It's okay, girl," he murmured, then looked around. Mo and the other elephants were chained to the hold, but Bram had seen the keepers unlock them to clean the area. He knew where the keys were kept. Hurriedly, he found them and began to set his friends free. At last, he went to unlock the chains that held Modoc. The water was so deep now that the locks were submerged. Bram fumbled with the keys and dropped them in the swirling water. With both hands he searched, but the waves had swept the keys away. Modoc strained against her chains, but they were so heavy and thick, even she couldn't break them. Just then, a heavy cannon that was being stored in the hold broke loose and rolled across the floor, smashing through the hull of the ship. The angry ocean rushed in, pulling everything in its grasp back out through the hole. Bram clung to Mosey and felt her pull with all her strength, and the chain snapped. Boy and elephant were sucked into a swirling cold void, tumbling into darkness. There was no up or down, nothing to hold on to. Then, air. Bram gasped it in gratefully. He looked around. He was floating on the surface of the ocean amidst pieces of wreckage, alone. "Modoc!" he called. "Mo!" Had she drowned? Then he heard a voice. "Hello! Over here!" Bram swam toward the sound. As he got closer, he saw a group of survivors from the ship clinging together, trying to stay afloat. One of them, to his relief, was Jimmy. Bram gasped out the terrible story of Mosey's loss. He didn't know how long they'd be able to survive in the open water, but without Mo, he wasn't sure he cared. And then he heard a familiar sound. The trumpet of an elephant. Then it came again, and then louder, closer. Everyone could hear it. Bram peered into the early morning gloom and saw a huge, dark shadow in the distance. "Mosey!"